Leg 2 of the Philippine Poker Tour has not been devoid of absolute drama. But all that drama reaches its pinnacle today as the final 3 players contest not only the top purse of 321,700 pesos, not only that second seat in the Tournament of Champions this March for a chance to get a slot in the WSOP Main Event 2013, but a title that carries so much prestige that the winner gains bragging rights beyond words. Triffy Montebon, the man who seemingly was in cruise control but became embattled and barely survived, still has the arsenal and the savvy to reach the summit. Rebel Magdagasan, the self-proclaimed king of the world, whose presence in many pots has led to his capturing many chips, sometimes with hands that astound. Vip Nava, lingering at the brink of elimination, but somehow finds a way to chip up and now has become a looming threat to turn his underdog status to top banana and a bona fide poker great. 3 men, 1 goal. Only one will prevail, only one will be champion. Find out who next.
With only 3 players remaining, here's how we stand. Rebel Magdagasan, the king of the world from Davao, with a commanding chip lead over the rest. Let's see if Rebel's yells can get him all the way in.
And we're 3-handed here in our final table. Bob Guerrero, Ron Regis on the call, and right off the bat, Vip Nava has shoved all in with 760,000.
He's on the button and he doesn't want to play a post flop here, but he runs into a hand in the big blind. Rebel has pocket king.
No ace.
This is a disaster for Vip, who was just trying to steal a small pot. Now his tourney might be over.
But did he need to steal with such a big bet?
Well, even a minimum raise would have done the job. If Rebel had nothing, he folds. In this case, he put all his chips in and he's in bad shape. Queen high flop.
Queen 6, 3 on the flop.
Of course, there's always the ace on the river.
4 of diamonds on the turn. Edwin needs the ace.
Only the ace will save him now.
Vip very tense right now. And it's an ace on the river!
Ace on the river.
Massive suck out from Vip Nava. Unbelievable.
Well, talk about making the wrong move at the right time, huh? He open shoves from the button, which was largely unnecessary, runs into a big hand, his tourney is suddenly on the line, he sweats for 4 cards, and then suddenly the ace on the river, and he's looking like a brilliant poker player right now.
So he had 3 outs on that river, so he had about 6% chance of winning that hand.
Something like 6%.
Unbelievable.
But you know, 6% is still 6%. It's not 0%. And sometimes it's gotta happen. And it happened this time.
And the dealer ships 1.59 million in chips to Vip Nava.
Just get lucky, just get lucky.
And there he's speaking the truth there. He just got lucky.
Well, this is a big part of tournament poker play. Getting lucky when you need to get lucky.
And Vip Nava is happy to be lucky right now as he takes down a monster pot. Now let's turn you over to Bianca Saldua, who will tell us a bit more about this wonderful venue, Resorts World Manila.
Welcome, poker fans, and I'm here with Ms. Carmina de Ongria, the Public Relations Supervisor of Resorts World Manila. Now, Ms. Carmina, how is the relationship between the Philippine Poker Tour and Resorts World Manila?
Well, we're only too happy to be of service to the Philippine Poker Tour, and of course, we're really happy to have you guys here.
And thank you also so much for having us here. We're very happy to be here in Resorts World Manila. But could you tell us also some of the things that are happening, something new with Resorts World Manila, the place to play?
Well, here in Resorts World Manila, we always have something new for everybody, whether you're alone, even when you're alone, even with your friends, with your family, with kids. Anybody here, you'll always have something for the hotel, in dining, in entertainment. In fact, as early as now, I'd like to invite everybody. We're going to have King and I. We're introducing it in September. I'm sure you've heard the Sound of Music and what a success it was. So now we have a bigger and grander musical production for all of you guys, and I can't wait to unveil it to all of you.
The King and I is coming this September, and I'm sure everyone who's watching the Philippine Poker Tour right now, they're pretty excited about it. So I'm sure Resorts World Manila has also a lot to offer. Would you like to invite our fans right there or our viewers?
Yeah, I'd like to invite everybody here to come here in Resorts World Manila. We have a lot of ongoing promos. I can assure you, being here is like a thrill like no other. It's a non-stop, one-stop lifestyle entertainment hub in the Philippines. It's the place to play and the place to be. So I hope to see you soon here in Resorts World Manila.
So thank you so much for inviting us, and thank you also for hosting the Philippine Poker Tour here in Resorts World Manila. And we hope to see you in our future
course.
expeditions, probably.
Always, we are
Thank you
here.
very much. And once again, poker fans, that was Miss Carmina de Ongria of Resorts World Manila, and we hope that everyone will get to come here sometime in Resorts World.
And now the blinds are reaching stratospheric levels here. 25,000, 50,000. Those brown chips are 50,000. And VIP has king, queen, powerful hand, three-handed.
Again on the button. This time not shoving though. He's thinking of a more reasonable race now that he has more chips to play with.
25 more options, sir. Check.
Well, that's not a race. He just limps from the button.
Rebel
Trying
checks.
to get a flop here.
10-8 of clubs, and wow, look at this, the flop is 7-9 jack, so Rebel has hit his straight,
He
but
hit
the
the straight,
flop,
but he checked it, and it happened so fast, and by the time he's betting here on the turn, he is already behind.
VIP with a better straight.
It's a disaster for Rebel. He flopped this straight, did not get any value of it, tried to trap, but instead now he's the
There
one
is.
jumping into this hole he dug for himself.
That's the problem when you give free cards, and Rebel bets 100,000.
VIP has already announced the race. He's put in
300,000
100K.
more.
He's raced to 400,000, and now Rebel has to think this over.
I love this move by VIP. He figures Rebel's betting here with an 8 or a set or any combination of two pairs. He's gonna get called here. VIP has the highest possible straight now.
Huge pot now, almost $1 million.
Rebel cannot lay down his straight. Probably looking to call down and hope he wins. VIP is looking for more value here, but not on that turn card.
Jack of hearts on the river.
That jack is an action killer. They both check, and VIP is disappointed in that action was frozen because of that jack.
The board paired, and there was a chance now for a full house, I guess.
Yeah.
Both players were scared of.
Yeah, Rebel could have been calling with an 8, could have been calling with any combination of two pairs or three of a kind. And VIP on any other unpairing card would bet for value and get called, but not on that card. So he had to play safe, check it down, and takes a smaller pot than he would have liked to have.
VIP, though, happy with the big pot. Now let's learn more about Triffy Montebon.
Triffy Montebon. I'm 33 years old. I'm a businessman in a print management company. I'm originally from Davao, and after college, I settled here in Manila. My friends started playing poker. I joined in one house game. They introduced it to me, told me the rules. Well, it was fun back then. You know, a little over a year ago, I started taking it seriously. I saw that I'm passionate about it. I like the game. I like the challenge. Winning this tournament means a lot to me because I recently figured out that this is my passion and I want to do this for a long time. And if possible, I want to do this all the time so I don't have to work anymore. You know, that hopefully I can grow and eventually grow and make it bigger. and eventually play internationally. And that's the ultimate goal. And if ever I'm lucky enough or good enough, I'll win the WSOP, of course. That's the ultimate goal.
Line still 25,000, 50,000 here in our three-handed.
25 po.
Faze and Triffy Montebon, the musician turned
Good,
businessman.
option,
We
sir.
learned a bit about him. He folds Rebel from the small blind. Will complete the big blind with King 6 and Vip King Jack. So he dominates King 6 here. They both check and
They both have top pairs now. Rebel checks to make sure that his kicker is good. 6 is good kicker, so he's going to bet out.
little does he know he's outkicked completely by Vip, and Vip is gonna call.
Well, no way Vip's tossing top pair in an unraised spot for just one bet.
Queen of Spades on the turn. They both check it.
Well, it's not really a card you want to slow down on.
King.
Ace, that's one you're gonna slow down on.
That's one you gotta slow down on, and Vip is content to check it down and take him down a smallish pot. Just one bet taken in that pot.
Well, you gotta be worried about playing sometimes with top pair, especially when you have an iffy kicker. You always have to play it cautiously, and Rebel actually did play that somewhat cautiously.
Who among our final three will get a chance to play at the Battle of Champions for that all-important trip to Las Vegas? Stay tuned to the Philippine Poker Tour Leg 2 in Resorts World Manila.
Hello! Let's learn about one of the premium hands in No Limit Hold'em, Ace King. Ace King is nicknamed Big Slick. It's also sometimes referred to as Anna Kournikova. And not just because of the initials AK, but also because they say it looks good, but doesn't win much. However, you do like to have Ace King because it very much dominates all other non-paired hole cards. For example, it's very much in the lead against this Ace Jack. The same goes for King Queen. In fact, even against a pair, it's still a coin flip. For example, Ace King against Pocket Queens. Well, the Ace King is trailing the Queens, but only by about 45 to 55%, depending on suitedness. When you hit top pair on the flop with Ace King, you are assured that you have top pair and top kicker. So that's the good news with Ace King. However, there is a downside to it. Again, as we mentioned, against any pair, even pocket deuces, it is not a favorite. And when it comes up against another premium hand like pocket kings, it is a very big underdog. And if you have the misfortune of holding Ace King against pocket aces, then you are in even bigger trouble. Ace King is a powerful hand, but you've also got to play it right. If you can handle Ace King and know when to raise with it, know when to call with it, and know when to fold, then you're on your way to becoming a top poker player.
Welcome back. Vip Nava claimed his way to second place after taking out a huge chunk of Rebel's holdings. It is now Trippy Montebon who is struggling to stay in step with the two chip leaders.
Triffy Montebon in the dealer position. He still has some chips to play with.
Some chips, the button, some water, but no cards to play with.
And
There
it's
it is.
King Jack for Rebel, and he's gonna raise. It's suited too. And
125
You
total.
raise into trouble.
ooh,
Blind versus blind, you don't expect both of them to have decent hands, but Vip has a decent hand. Just thinking of how to play this. Smooth call it or raise now.
the bet is 125 from Rebel, and Vip is gonna call that and a flop. Wow, 7, 10, 4 of hearts, and Rebel has a heart flush.
Flopped a flush, no heart in the pair of queens from Vip. He has flat called himself into oblivion here. Now he has to wonder, could Rebel have flopped it, or is he betting with a single heart draw? He has to flat call at least to figure this out and see how the turn action comes up.
The turn is the 7 of diamonds, and Rebel checks.
Kind of an action killer, but also a good chance for Rebel to probe into it.
5 of clubs on the river. Let's see if Rebel can get maximum value here from his flush.
He's got the flush, he only needs to fade the full house. And if Vip's got a full house, he's gonna know because he's gonna get raised on this river.
Big bet of 300,000 from Rebel. Vip is gonna call it, and he's not gonna be happy.
Rebel says flush, Vip says good, and he knows he played that pocket queens not optimally.
1.16 million going the way of Rebel Magdagasang, and that is a very big pickup for him, and can't really disagree with the way he played that hand.
Well, he raised pre-flop. They say you need heart to win a big tournament. Well, he got 5 hearts. Pretty good hand.
Well, the players are picking up some big bucks in prize money this weekend. Let's find out how they intend to spend their winnings.
The first thing I'll do with the money will be I'll buy my wife a bag because she asked me, oh, if you win, I dare not say no.
With the money siguro, I have some loans, so pay off my loans.
I'll call some of my friends and tell them the good news, and then treat some of my friends as well, and that's it.
My wife is so supportive that I'm playing poker, and I find this unusual because a lot of wives are really kumbaga, they don't like it that their husbands are playing poker. They think their husbands are having gambling problems or something. My wife understands that this is a sport for me.
To Pearl Farm Beach Resort ako for probably 3 days with my wife and my kids. Mga ganun. So, magni-nature tripping na naman ako.
Whatever she asks, I'll buy it. So the first thing she was buy me a long champ bag. Okay, I'll buy it, no problem.
Lines at 25,000, 50,000. Rebel is flying high with that hefty stack.
He's on a roll here. He's getting hand after hand. Hands that are worth playing, hands that are worth raising.
And from the dealer button, he has Ace of Clubs, Jack of Spades, and Triffy, King 7 suited.
Well, he didn't like to play his button, but he likes to defend his big blind with suited King Junk. Getting a little impatient, running low on chips. Slowly running out of time. Gotta make a move, hit a flop, pick down a pot, anything.
Vip makes way. We are heads up, and the flop is 3 4s. We had 3 jacks while back in the tournament. Now 4 of hearts, 4 of clubs, 4 of spades.
Goes check, check. There's really no action can be had when 3 of a kind is on the flop.
8 of hearts is the turn card.
Well, last time there was 3 of a kind on the board. Rebel called down with ace high, so his 8 jack was good. Then it's gonna be better now. He has the full house.
Jack of diamonds on the river.
How do you
Triffy
get called?
checks.
Get called at least 50,000 here. Or he could go for a higher number.
It's gonna bet 200,000. You like that bet size?
Oh, might be a little too much. There's really nothing that Triffy can hit here except an 8. And if he'd hit the 8, he would have bet by now. So that's called a situation where you need to bet really thin, like even minimum, just to get looked up.
Jeffy tosses it, and it's another big pot for Rebel Magdagasang. He is getting all the breaks.
Every pot now with the blind so high, every pot counts as kind of a big pot, especially for a player like Triffy whose stack is getting so short. Everything matters.
Just a reminder that you can learn more about the Philippine Poker Tour by going to the official website, thephilippinepokertour.com. And Vip still with some chips to play, but we are 3-handed. He has 10, 8 of diamonds.
A lot of chips, got the button, playable
Call.
hand,
Hit
elects to
outside.
call. We haven't seen a lot of button racing in this 3-handed game.
Triffy is gonna see a flop with Jack
Well,
7.
Triffy, he realizes he's really running out of time. He's starting to call any kind of suited hand now. He needs to make a move, and maybe a better move would have been the raise.
The
Look
flop
at this
is 5-4-3, and Rebel has flopped a straight.
And Triffy goes all in with his flush draw and a gut shot to the better straight. Of course, he gets instantly called by Rebel, who already has a straight.
And Vip is gonna get out of the way, of course. Unbelievable.
That's what happens when you give the big blind a free look. They fall in love with a flop.
9 of hearts on the turn. What does Triffy need?
He needs a 6 or any club, and that's not it.
3 of hearts on the river, and Rebel Magdangasan has picked up another pot worth more than $1 million at the expense of Triffy Montebon, who finishes at 3rd place. There's his wife Aya, giving him some consolation. And just an unbelievable turn of events here. Rebel Magdangasan is really running hot right now.
Well, he's flopped his way to the final 2 so far, and Triffy has run really dry. Hasn't had a real decent hand for a long time, and he had to make a stand at the wrong time. He had a decent draw there, flush draw, and a gut shot to the better straight, and all he could really do is put the chips in.
And just like that, we are down to 2 here in the Philippine Poker Tour.
It was a good experience for me because I gained a lot. I learned a lot from them, playing against them. I always thought Mike Takayama was a very aggressive player. But when I played with him tonight and the past few days, he was really a solid player. It was a good learning experience for me. Thank you very much for the opportunity. The poker industry right now, the players need this because, yeah, there are some tournaments here, but there's nothing regular. As regular as this, once a month, you have a significant guaranteed tournament. Then this will really help the community to play more. And plus, you can aspire as World Series of Poker player, and you can be recognized best in the Philippines because all champions will face off at the end of the 10 legs. I'm always thankful for the experience because that's the only way you learn. Aside from the books will give you the basics, but the experience is the best key, the factor that you need para gumaling.
We say goodbye to Triffy, and that leaves us with 2 players. Rebel Magdangasan is very much in command of things. He has almost a 4-1 chip lead over Vip Nava, but can he play it right?
We are looking for winner number 2 of the Philippine Poker Tour here at Resorts World Manila. Who will it be? Stick around to find out. Now we're going to talk about the swings in poker. The button tries to steal by shoving against the blinds with his ace-deuce of hearts, which is usually a good move except for the fact that the small blind thinks that he's shoving light and calls with his suited king-queen. But the big blind actually has a hand, pocket tens, and decides to put these 2 guys on trash, and he's happy to see that he's ahead pre-flop. But this won't last for long because when the flop comes, the ace-deuce of hearts hits a straight and takes the lead while the king-queen picks up a flush draw and the tens are way behind. The turn is a 5 of clubs rewarding the flush to the king-queen, ace-deuce is now drawing dead and the tens still way behind. But when the river comes, justice is served. Full house for the tens, ahead pre-flop and winning the hand in the end. After a brutal fight at the final table, we are finally down to our last 2 players, Mr. Vip Nava and Mr. Rebel Villamor Magdangasan. Who will be our next champion for the Philippine Poker Tour? There's only one way to find out, so let's turn it over to our tournament director, Mr. Raymond Gamier.
All right, guys, this is it. We are now heads up. Right before we start, let's give these 2 warriors a round of applause. Vip Nava have 1,565,000 in chips, and the chip leader on heads up with 3,615,000 in chip, Mr. Rebel Magdangasan. We're gonna continue our play. Blinds is still 25,000, 50,000, 5,000 NT. Good luck, guys. Player hearts out. Tournament dealer, please shuffle up and deal.
And the players shake hands, and we are off and running here. From 259 in the beginning of this week, we're down to 2. It's heads up. The small blind is also the dealer, and it's a whole new game, isn't it, Ron?
Whole new game. His name is Vip, and he has the button, and he's got the power in this hand.
Call. Option.
150 more.
Rebel Magdagasang is
150
gonna
more.
make a raise here with ace-8 offsuit. I like this raise. Heads up.
Having an ace is pretty strong heads up, especially when the dealer button has not shown any strength by limping in. But Vip is going to call here. It's not really about his hand here, it's just about his position. And he's going to see if there's a ton of flops that he can outmaneuver Rebel with.
Ace, Jack 4, so Rebel has hit his ace.
150.
Makes the same size bet,
150,000
begging to get called. Now Vip's gonna call here not exactly because he has a gut shot, but because maybe he can take it away in the turn. This could just be a
Call
continuation bet by Rebel. Let's see a turn and see what Rebel does.
The turn card. It's a 3.
That hurts.
Vip has made his wheel straight. Ace to 5.
Well, that's what you call backing into a hand there. Vip was
350.
planning to outplay
350,000
Rebel, but now he actually has him overpowered.
350,000.
And Rebel keeps betting his top pair ace with his great kicker. The 8 is actually a better kicker than half the cards in the deck.
That's one way of looking at it.
That's one way. The other way is to think that 8 is going to hit on the river, so even if you're outkicked, you're going to...
Raise.
Well, Vip finally announces raise, tips off the strength
Raise.
of his hand, but also looks like a play. So
Announcement
Rebel
by
has to
Vip.
figure out if there was a flush draw on the flop,
350,000
and
bet.
this turn is not a club, so Rebel's looking at that as a missed draw. Is Vip really have a hand here, or is he just getting creative because he's sitting on Mike Takayama's chair?
Mike Takayama, very creative. Maybe some of that creativity is rubbing off
All
on him. Vip is
All
raised
in.
all in.
All in is the race.
It's a call from
It's a
Rebel.
call.
Rebel's not gonna like this.
Right. Beat, show.
Don't want to overplay
Five
top
deuce.
pair sometimes in poker, and
5 hours,
Rebel
5 hours
knows it
straight.
right now.
Well, there are only
Top pair
so
by Rebel
many
Magdagasang.
instances where you would think
Right.
5
It's
deuce
really
was the
fun.
hand you were up against here. No river card can help Rebel. Vip takes the
will
chip
double up.
lead.
It's a 10 of clubs, and Vip is now on top. A slight chip lead over Rebel Magdagasang. A very dramatic hand.
Very dramatic. That's how you start a heads-up game right there. Out chipped almost 3-1, and now he's slightly ahead, and they're back to square one here. Except Vip has momentum. It's very important in heads-up because Rebel is coming off a hand where he was ahead and suddenly got outdrawn on the turn, completely blindsided, and that's gotta play into his psyche a bit. And Vip can use this momentum to keep pushing him if he wants to.
That's how it is in heads up. You can play just about any hand. And the blinds are reaching stratospheric heights right now. 30,000, 60,000. The ante alone is 10,000.
Button back on Vip. Previous hand, Rebel took it down while muttering that he made weak bets in the other big pot. So now he might play a little stronger if Vip so much as looks weak in this hand.
Vip has 3-2 offsuit in almost any other situation. You toss it. Instead, he's going to raise 150,000.
Well, it's a nice switch up. He's been seen limping that 2-5 of hearts, so now by racing here, he's saying, hey, it's not 2-5 this time, it's 2-3.
Rebel just has 10-5 offsuit, but he's going to see a flop.
Well, they are deep enough in chips that they can play some post flop, see a flop, try to outmaneuver each other. That's hard to maneuver out of that flop when someone has been the pre-flop raiser.
Ace, Jack, Queen, Rebel checks. And Vip is going to bet 250,000.
Any of these cards could have hit his raising range. Doesn't matter that he actually missed completely. Rebel has to give him credit for something.
And that is heads up poker for you. That's poker for you, really. It's sometimes, so often, not about the cards. Vip showing some real metal there with the junk hand taking down the pot. Now let's learn a bit more about his opponent in heads up, Rebel Magdagasang.
Rebel Villamor Magdagasang. I am from Davao, 41 years old, and I'm still a musician, a songwriter, and a poker player. 2009, I realized na may poker house na pala kami sa Davao, yung Metro Davao Card Club. So I went there and I started joining tournaments, cash games, a bit of both. So that's how I got started. My strategy was very simple. Not the usual kind of game na ginagawa ko. I'm well known sa Davao as a very wild player.
Yes! The king of the world!
Here it's different. You're in a different league. You're up against, I would say, the best of the best. If I win, I'll bring the trophy to Metro Card Club Davao and I'll display it there.
Heads up in poker, always attritional. Gotta pick your spots and attack.
Well, dealer button's always a good place to attack.
Raise.
With King, Queen of Hearts. Rebel makes a raise.
Vip sees Jack 9 offsuit, playable and heads up.
He can call for another $1.50. See a flop. Well, he's not folding.
And in fact, he's gonna re-pop 330,000.
Rebel has got to be thinking about the strength of his King, Queen of Hearts here against a hand that 3-bets him.
The flop is ace, 2, 4.
Could Vip really have that ace?
250.
Sure looks like it with a pre-flop 3-bet.
And Vip bets and Rebel folds.
Not gonna take any heat from this pot. Moving on to the next is Rebel giving up pretty big hand.
So Vip is continuing to grow that stack. And now it's time to learn a little bit more about poker techniques. We'll learn from Ron Regis the art of trapping.
Hi, I'm Ron from the Asia Poker Academy, and I want to talk to you about a concept called slow playing or trapping. Now, let's say you're in a tournament up against one random guy, and you have 2 aces. We always have 2 aces because we train well. The flop is ace, king, king, and your opponent checks to you. The action is now to you. What do you do? Do you check? Do you make a small bet? Do you push all your chips in? Or do you fist pump and then put all your chips in? Think about it for a while, and when we come back later, we'll talk about how to slow play or trap. Welcome back, I'm Ron from the Asia Poker Academy, and we were talking about slow playing or trapping. We had pocket aces, we flopped a full house, our single opponent checks to us, and now we gotta figure out how to get this guy to put more money in. If we bet a little bit, he could call, but with a board like this, where we cripple the board because we hit everything there is to hit, he's probably not gonna call, and boom, he's just gonna fold. No more money for us. If we shove all in, it's such a ludicrous move that only a guy who's lost his mind is going to call us. So that doesn't seem so good either. Even if you fist pump, do a jig, dance around, and then push all in, it just makes you look like a schmuck who's not going to get called. So this is where you want to employ slow playing or trapping. Check behind and hope to God that the turn card helps him make a hand so that he can bet or call a small bet or do anything just to catch up with your monster hand. And that's how you slow play or trap.
Boy oh boy, has Vip Nava been chipping away on Rebel's stack as he holds almost a 3-1 lead over Rebel. Can our food chain manager bring home the title?
You're watching the Philippine Poker Tour. It's heads up, 1-on-1. Who is going to win that huge first prize of 321,700 pesos? Vip Nava has woken up here with ace-4. Pretty handy heads up.
Yep, and on the button he opens for a call.
Option.
Not trying to bloat the pot too soon, but with ace-king suited, Rebel wants to build this pot right here, right now.
Really showing some aggression before the flop, and Vip has an ace. Usually with an ace, you want to keep on playing heads up.
Vip is thinking about a caller coming over the top of him. Is this the right time to do it?
Is he sensing that he's completely dominated here?
Well, heads up poker is like two guys fighting over the steering wheel in the same car, and each time the guy raises and re-raises, they're saying, I want to drive, I want to decide where this match is going to go. And the steering wheel is rested now by Rebel.
So Vip folds, even though he had an ace. The man is in the restaurant business, and let's learn more about Vip Nava.
Hi, I'm Edwin Nava. I'm 49 years old. I work in the food service industry. I'm from Quezon City. Going to the second day, since I was seated beside very good and strong players, I told myself that I will play it strong. I told myself that it's either I will fold or go all in. So most of the players that are in the final table, familiar naman ako sa kanila. I try to get different styles from different players. Sometimes I really do bluff. I try my best to read the players, but at the end of the day, it's still basic poker. I just play solid tight poker. Aside from more cash, well, it will boost my confidence, not my ego. Okay, I'm not into titles actually, only my confidence. I'll call some of my friends and tell them the good news, and then treat some of my friends as well, and that's it.
Almost unbearable tension here at the Genting Club of Resorts World Manila. These two poker heavyweights are battling for that juicy first prize at the Philippine Poker Tour.
Rebel has been close before, finishing 4th place in the 2009 Davao Eagle Cup, but now he's even closer to winning a whole tourney.
Queen 10 offsuit for Vip, and he's gonna bet. Rebel has a very weak hand, 6-4 offsuit.
Well, he likes these small connectors, suited or unsuited. He limped on the button, and now for just 90,000 more, he's gonna call to see a flop, and that's
wow.
It's a better result than when he had King Queen and missed completely. So that's what Rebel is willing to play here.
Vip with top pair bets 250. Rebel has a piece of this. He has bottom pair.
Well, I can't imagine that Rebel gets a piece of it and folds to a single bet, so he'll probably speculate to at least see a turn or maybe make a move here. He sees a turn, he called, and the turn has given him trips.
4 of diamonds. Magdagasang once again, and he's gone all in with his 3 of a kind.
It's happening really fast, too fast for Vip. He bet 500,000, and now he's got raised all in by Rebel, and the board has paired. He has to think about his top pair. Is it still good? He thinks so. He calls.
Rebel Magdagasang has ran really hot in this tournament, and he's run well also in this hand. He has 3 of a kind. What does Vip need?
Well, only a 10 can save him now. If he has Rebel covered, I mean, he can afford to lose this and still be in the running, but he will be back where he started. The Queen gives him 2 pair, but doesn't really help. Rebel will retake the chip lead, and Vip is back to a small stack and a heads-up tourney.
Vip Nava could not say no, and he calls with the top pair. And Magdagasang is in cruise control right now with a huge lead.
Well, see, cheering for Rebel is Richard Tampepe. We saw him from PPT first leg, originally from Davao. So Rebel's got a following here.
Vip now needs practically a miracle to get back into contention. Rebel with such a huge lead in chips. He has ace 10 for sure. He's gonna raise with it.
Yeah, blinds are up and the stacks are effectively shorter, so this raise by Rebel with ace 10 is a good portion of Vip's stack. Just flat calling it might not be too good an option now. Vip has to look at his hand and see what the best play is. He's got a jack and a 10.
Some players really like this hand, don't they?
Well, it saved his tourney life just a few hours ago, and
he's
now
gonna raise all in with jack 10, and Rebel's gonna call him. And Rebel dominates
All in a call.
VIP.
10 Jack.
Ace 10 dominating Jack
Versus
10, about
Ace
70-30%, you think?
Like 70-30, and as far as Vip's concerned, all he's doing now is visualizing a flop full of jacks.
VIP will need a Jack to stay alive in this tournament.
You heard there, Mr. Gamir saying it. He needs a Jack. The flop is no help
Flop is
to VIP.
Well, no help to anyone is actually help to the guy with the ace.
VIP needs a runner, spade.
8 of diamond, 3 of spades, 6 of spades.
Rebel still ahead.
Total ragged rainbow here. Still hunting for that jack on the turn or maybe the river.
Everybody's on their feet. It's a 4 of diamonds on the turn.
There's no help and no chop in sight.
Vip's hanging by a thread.
And the river card.
The river, it's an 8. It's all over. Rebel Magdagasang is the champion of Leg 2 of the Philippine Poker Tour. And he wins 321,700 pesos. He also makes it to the Tournament of Champions of the PPT, where he has a shot at getting a seat in the WSOP. And he also joins Dexter Luna as champions of the Philippine Poker Tour, and he's the pride of Davao right now. What can you say about how he's played this week?
Well, Rebel has stuck to his strategy of seeing a lot of flops. He saw a ton of flops. Some he hit, some he missed. Those that he hit, he stuck it out and took some big pots out with very unlikely hands. Hands that opponents could not see coming. However, in the heads up, VIP was chipping away quite efficiently against Rebel after his own unlikely call with 2-5 of hearts turned everything around. And he was chipping away, and Rebel was in trouble, getting shorter and shorter. And suddenly, one misstep, and it was back in Rebel's hands.
But good job for Vip Nava. He came from way back to make it to second place. We'll be back here at the Genting Club to wrap things up. We started out with 259 poker players here at leg number 2 of the Philippine Poker Tour here at Resorts World Manila. After 6 days of battle, we finally have a champion who takes home 321,000 pesos. But before we talk to our winner, I'll turn you over to Ron Regis, who is with our runner-up.
Thanks, Bob. Round of applause for our runner-up, Vip. Now, just one question, Vip. For a while there, it looks like you had Rebel on the ropes. You were taking small pot after small pot. Then he called you with bottom pair, and he turned something big, and he re-raised all in over you. You called pretty quick. Ano yung iniisip mo nun when you called pretty quick?
Before I answer that, I would like to thank this great group of guys who has been supporting me the whole time. Thank you, guys. Anyway, I am so tired. I made a raise pre-flop. He called. He hits his bottom pair on the flop. I raised. He bets again. He hits his trips on the turn. I didn't believe that he hit his trips. And I'm so tired, so I just made a snap call. I thought that he was making a play. So.
Well, if you were right, that would have been the end of the tourney.
Yep.
But still, you're second place finisher, but you're almost 200,000 pesos richer.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vip.
All right, congratulations, Vip. And now we are with the man who took Vip out of the tournament and is our winner here in the second leg of the Philippine Poker Tour. From Davao City, Rebel Magdagasang. So, Rebel, it was a roller coaster ride, especially in heads up. Tell us your thoughts on this amazing heads up battle and, of course, the last hand.
For the last hand, I just thought there can't be another bad beat. So I was hoping no jack would come out on the river because previous hands I had pocket kings and he had ace 10. He was supposed to be out earlier, but ace came out on the river. So I thought there can't be another bad beat. So we're both tired. I would like to congratulate Veep also because he's such a tough nut. So I'm happy for him. But I guess I'm happier for myself. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Sharina Lim, Jeffrey,
Caparida, Richard Tampepe, and Jubril, my you from Davao, my group here, and people from Metro Davao Card Club, those who have supported me and who have texted me all this time and sending me their support. So thank you very much. And of course, my wife who is at home and praying for me.
Okay, congratulations again, Rebel. Now, to give you a special token of congratulations, we'd like to turn the proceedings over to the founder of the Philippine Poker Tour, attorney Jojo Aliado.
Thank you. Thanks, Bob. Before we do that, I'd like to thank everyone who supported the Philippine Poker Tour so far. We've gotten so much support from everyone. Trisha David for helping us with the website, www.thefilippinepokertour.com, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Only in the PPT will you find a guy from Mindanao named Rebel winning the championship. So to you, Mr. Rebel, no more bad beats. We give you good beats by Dr. Dre, wireless. Congratulations.
Okay, that's wonderful. And of course, we want to thank our gracious hosts, Resorts World Manila. Special thanks to Abe Basa, the second AVP of Table Games, Roderick Go, the poker manager, and Miko Rillo Rasa, the assistant poker manager. Thank you so much for making this tournament so wonderful. Okay, and Ron, your final thoughts on an amazing weekend of poker.
Well, we had an awesome weekend, great structure, great tournament director. It all comes together because of the people who are putting this together, but also the players. So we need to see them more in the previous legs. If they weren't here, they're missing a lot.
And of course, big shout out to our tournament director, Raymond Gamier. All right. It's been an amazing tournament in the Philippine Poker Tour. And to say our goodbyes, we'll turn you over now to Miss Bianca Saldua.
We started out with 259 players, but now another champion is born. Congratulations to Rebel Magdagasang, who outlasted them all, and he now joins our first leg winner of the Philippine Poker Tour, Mr. Dexter Luna, in the Battle of Champions. The chance is now theirs to compete in Las Vegas for the World Series of Poker 2013. But the war is not over. Our series continues, so remember to keep following us here in the Philippine Poker Tour. This is Bianca Saldua, and on behalf of the hardworking men and women behind the PPT, good night.